Hello and welcome back, Commanders and Commanderettes. Chesty Puller here with another War Commander video. This one is on the Blood Magic event. This is the Soldier set, all three bases. This is a fast run. I do have another video out there for low levels. This is not necessarily for low levels. But if you have the Lilith already, then you can do this event very easily. But if you have the Lilith, I'm going to recommend that the soldier set is not what you should be doing. What you should be doing is the commander set because the payout is far greater. Ultimately, I think the payout is over 4 times greater because the amount of time that it takes you to do it is even less, to do the entire set. And the payout is quite a bit better. It will take you about twice the amount of time to do the soldier set as it does the commander set if you have the Lilith. So, and that's really the only requirement for the commander set is Lilith. Um, and actually, that's not even a requirement for the commander set. As I said in the commander set, base 1 can be done with the Richard, and Richard can help out on base 2. It just makes it so much easier if you have Lilith. Now, why does Lilith work and Richard doesn't? It's because uh, Lilith is high altitude. Um, Albert Ross is not high altitude, and Richard is not high altitude, but Lilith is. Lilith is the first high altitude unit we've gotten in quite a while. Um, so it's a big boost to your account to have Lilith. She's going to do things that no other units can do. Besides having just the high altitude, she also has a flat damage mitigation. And she also has one of the more powerful shots. Remember, as things go on, there's power creep, and some of the old units that used to be OP are now weak, and they can't get anything done. Um, so this particular event is a little bit slower because we're doing it with air, and because the Lilith is a little bit slow because she takes a little pause in between each shot. But when was the last time that we had a unit that could take this many hits and still be instant repair? This is pretty awesome. I really have to give it to Kixeye. They gave us a very good unit. Now, I was underwhelmed with Lilith at first, and that's because Albert Ross kind of spoiled me because Albert Ross can clear a base in about 5 seconds. It takes Lilith 5 minutes, but Albert Ross would get wrecked in this base. Okay, these helicopters that you see back here would kill Albert Ross um, because they shoot air and they have a very powerful missile that they shoot. So this is pretty good. Even though that this is just the soldier set, I was thinking that with the soldier set that you could get away with Albert Ross. Maybe Kixeye was thinking about people that don't have Lilith. This is pretty much the way the game has been going. Every new unit that's come out is a must-have unit for the next thing that's coming. So lately, they've given us pretty good opportunities to get units. This particular event is going to be one of those events. Everyone, if you want to play this game, get the Lilith in this event. You have the Lilith available. You also have all of the Lilith tech available. You don't have the Lilith build boost, So maybe even if you get her, you can't use her in this event. That sucks, okay? But you can definitely get Lilith. And this event, um, see, it's kind of like one of those things, you know, if you had Lilith, it would make it so much easier. If you don't have Lilith, you really need to get her in this event. This is the event to get caught up on. So that is the Soldier 1. You got to use your air only on that one, which was a little tough, you know, to have an air only base on the Soldier set, but um, not too bad. This one right here, also we're going to do with basically air only. We're doing the whole event with air only. Remember, guys, this particular season they call the air season. Kixeye calls this the air season. So I'm using a little ground here just to clear out these buggies that are coming out. And there's these two thorium, uh, what do you call them? Mechanized infantry. They look like Hyperions, but I don't know if they are. Um, but they do look like Hyperions. Maybe they're just thorium Hyperions. Really, without looking on the wiki, I really don't know how you do that. And even looking on the wiki, it's hard to find things. Kixeye doesn't really give you much information on that. There's no like database where you can go in and look at what units they have. You also can't look at how much like the capacity of a base or whatever, but their bases, for instance, on the number one commander set, it has like 4 times a normal base capacity. The same thing with Commander Base 2. That thing has like 5 times the normal capacity of any other base. Our base capacity is severely limited compared to theirs. Can you imagine if you could have this many defending units in your base? This would be crazy. That'd be interesting, though. That's actually something to think about. Right now, the bases are almost almost undefendable. Um, and it just gave me an idea that maybe Kixeye could allow us to defend our base with more than what people would be allowed to attack us with. Because really, when people are attacking us, they have 6 platoons. Well, 5 platoons maximum. So they have 5 times actually what we have, and so that's why it makes it uh, part of the reason why it makes it easy to destroy a base and hard to defend a base. It's really out of it's really out of balance, I think. They should probably allow us to have more units in base defense and just keep the amount of capacity for platoons the same, but it's sort of out of balance because there's 5 platoons against one base defender. It should be at least like double the amount of capacity. Um, and that's the fact that I go into one of these rogue bases like this or one of these event bases and I notice that they have so much capacity. Why can't we have some capacity on our base defense? That's a that's a thought for future discussion. But anyway, um, what you want to look for in these bases is anything that can shoot air. Just kill that, And then you can bring in, um, of course, I keep using this trick over and over again where I bring in the Proteus and then I deploy my air. And then that blue aura that you see there is called the jet stream. And that thing really speeds up the air and it really helps because when the air is going that fast, um, if it has missiles following it, it can outrun those missiles. And also, it just gets the base dead faster. It kills the turrets faster. It's just really a nice thing. It's a nice combo to use the Proteus, a very old unit, by the way, and and a modern unit like the Albert Ross. Well, okay, so I took a little shot there from my Prometheus. Don't immediately deploy your Prometheus. This is the first and only time I'm doing the soldier set. I don't like doing the soldier set. I'm just doing this so that you guys can see what's in here, but I do not like doing the soldier set. So I usually do it one time for the video, and so I haven't had any practice on it, so I didn't realize that it was going to deploy me right there in front of that turret. But don't worry about that because the Prometheus can take a hit. Um, but not like Lilith can. Lilith is really OP right now. Um, so I do hope everybody gets Lilith because I can guarantee you this is just going to be one of those units. If you'll remember, every other high altitude unit we've had lasted in this game for a very long time. You can come in when there's like bunkers that don't have any high altitude, anti-high altitude units in them and take them out. You can sneak around corners and take things out that you couldn't get any other way. And you can go sneak around to the back of bases and get things that you couldn't get in any other way. This is a very uh, needed unit. This is a unit we haven't had one, and we haven't because the high altitude units that we have right now are useless. They hit the turrets and they just sit there and shoot them and shoot them and shoot them, and it takes too long to take anything down. So I don't even use them anymore. Um, so this is a much needed unit that we needed for our arsenal. Without the Lilith, this base, yeah, it's doable for sure. It's not the hardest base in the world, but it would be much more difficult without the Lilith. So this is pretty much the idea for the soldier set, and I'm doing an account takeover later on today. I'll go on a lower level base. I don't think he has the Lilith, and I'll run the event on that base and take some videos of that and post those so that you can see how I would do it with a lower level base, with lower level units. But if you can get the Lilith and you do not have it, this is my, telling you, you really need to get it because it's just going to be so useful. It's going to help out so much. Now, the units that we are getting on this event, they're called the Luminaries. They're pretty good too. They are not high altitude though. Not the way I read their kit. I haven't used them. I have them. They are in my platoon, but I haven't used them yet. But the way I read it, the hero is high altitude, but they are not, which makes them less useful, and that's for sure. However, they do have the same flat damage mitigation. Um, but because they're slow and uh, their firepower is nowhere near what Lilith is, I'm going to say that they're not going to be quite as useful as Lilith. You really do need that high altitude um, thing right there. I got to read the kit on these luminaries. Maybe at a certain point they do get the high altitude, but the way I'm reading the ones that I built today, um, I don't think they're high altitude, which is weird that you would have a hero that's high altitude, but the main unit is not. I think that's weird. Like usually the hero has something special about it, but the basic type of unit, if it's going to be a ground unit, the hero is usually a ground unit. If it's going to be an air unit, the hero is an air unit. Um, if and it would just make sense that if it's a high altitude unit, that the regular units would be also high altitude. So maybe they picked that up with one of their workshops, which is up and coming on the next series of Shadow Ops, or maybe it happens with level, but I haven't read anything about that yet, so I'll look into that. Because if they're going to be high altitude, then that's going to be OP. Because if you can release a Lilith and like say 7 luminaries, wow, that's going to just destroy bases. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do the trick again with the Proteus. And here, I'll go ahead and I'll release these luminaries so we can see how they fly around and how they shoot. I'll just do that, and then I'll release Albert Ross also. Um, so it does seem like they're pretty fast. I mean, they look like they're moving fairly fast. However, I did release them with the Proteus, so that has something to do with it. Yeah, but guys, you're not going to get enough payout out of this soldier set. So watch my video on the commander set. I have several videos out on the commander set right now, and this is going to be a very good event for some people. If you've got the Lilith, it's going to be a great event for you to catch up. And watch out for my low level videos also. I have a low level video out there for anyone who doesn't maybe have some of the higher end units. Good luck. Hope it was helpful.